Ilara stepped into the dusty foyer of Blackwood Manor, the chill of the old stone floor seeping through her thin shoes. Her uncle, the reclusive Dr. Eris Thorne, had left her this house after he died 3 days ago, though he'd never spoken to her. The journal had been the Real Inheritance, a leather-bound book hidden in the attic for decades, its title in faded ink reading Project Chimera, The Last Child. She'd found it on the floor near the stairs, the pages stained with something dark. As she opened it, a single word glowed in the corner: "You are the key." The weight of it settled in her chest like a stone. She'd inherited a house, but she'd inherited a secret that could end everything. The first page was dated 1972, written in a steady hand that seemed to know her before she knew herself. Project Chimera, the title read, a genetic project to create the final child. Below it, the words Project Chimera, the last child appeared in a different script, smaller, urgent. The author was Dr. Eris Thorne, her uncle, but the handwriting felt alien, as if written by someone else. She traced the words: "They tried to kill the child before birth. The child was born to save the world." Her pulse quickened. She was the child. The journal was written by her uncle, but the date was 1972, before she was born. The secret had been hidden for over 50 years. She had to understand why he wrote it. The journal described a bombing in Chicago on March 15, 1972, 3 days after the child was born. The child was born at 3:17 a.m. to save the world, the text read. But the world was already gone. Ilara's mother had died in childbirth, and her father was missing. The journal listed the names of 27 other families who were killed in the bombing, all with the same genetic marker. She felt a wave of nausea. The child was the key, but the world was already gone. She turned to the next page, her father's name, Dr. Eris Thorne. Her uncle was her father. The journal was written by her father, but he was dead. She had to find the truth before it was too late. Ilara searched the mansion for her father's old records, but the only thing she found was a single photo of her parents with a man who looked like her uncle. The man was her father, Dr. Eris Thorne, except he had a different face. The journal described the child as the last living person with the marker, but the photo showed a child with a key in her hand. She realized the child was her. The government had been hunting her since she was born, but the journal said they had killed everyone else. She had been the last one left. Her uncle had written the journal to protect her, but the truth was worse: the government had killed her parents to protect her from the world. She had been the key to the project all along. Ilara moved through the mansion's shadowy corridors, each step echoing with the weight of the past. The house was built on a grave of the dead 27 families who had been killed in the bombing. She found a room filled with old journals, each one detailing the project. The last page described a child with the marker: the child will communicate with machines. The child will be the bridge between humans and machines. She felt the key in her chest. The government had been hunting her for decades, but the journal said the child was the bridge to save the world. She had been the last one left. Her parents had been killed to protect her from the world, but now she was the one who could save it. Ilara closed her eyes and remembered the key in her hand, the one she had found in the journal. She had been a child of 5 when the bombing happened, but the memory was clear: the key in her hand, the cold metal against her skin. The journal said the child could communicate with machines, but she had never seen a machine. The government had been hunting her since she was born, but the key was in her hand. She had been the last one left, the only one with the marker. She remembered her mother's face. Her mother had been killed in the bombing, but she had been holding the key. She had been the bridge to save the world, but the world was already gone. Ilara realized the bridge was broken. Her parents had been killed to protect her from the world, but she was the only one who could save it. The journal described the child as the bridge between humans and machines, but the bridge had been destroyed by the bombing. She had been the only one left with the marker, but the world was already gone. The government had been hunting her for decades, but the truth was worse: they had created her to be the bridge. She had been the last one left, the key to the project. She had to find a way to rebuild the bridge before it was too late. Ilara found a room filled with old photographs of her family, all with the same marker. The last photo showed her parents with a man who looked like her uncle, Dr. Eris Thorne. The journal had written that the guardian would protect the child, but the guardian was her uncle. She had been raised by him after the bombing, but he had never spoken to her. He had known she was the key. The journal said the guardian would protect the child from the government, but the government had already killed everyone else. She had been the last one left. Her parents had been killed to protect her, but now she was the guardian of the bridge. The journal revealed the key was in her blood, a genetic marker that allowed her to communicate with machines. The government had been hunting her for decades, but the key was in her blood. She had been the child of the project, but the project had been destroyed. The government had tried to kill her, but she had survived. She had been the last one left. Her parents had been killed to protect her, but now she was the key. The journal said the child would be the bridge between humans and machines, but she was the only one who could save the world. Ilara knew the bridge was waiting. She had been the key to the project, but the bridge was broken. She had been the last one left, the only one with the marker. The government had been hunting her for decades, but she had survived. She had to rebuild the bridge before it was too late. The journal said the child would communicate with machines, but she had never seen a machine. She had been the bridge to save the world, but the world was already gone. She held the key in her hand, the key to the bridge. Ilara realized the guardian was her. The journal had written that the guardian would protect the child, but the guardian was the child herself. She had been the guardian since she was born, but she had never known it. The government had been hunting her for decades, but the key was in her blood. She had been the bridge between humans and machines, but she had never seen a machine. She had been the last one left. Her parents had been killed to protect her, but now she was the guardian of the bridge. She held the key in her hand, the key to save the world. The key was in her blood, the genetic marker that allowed her to communicate with machines. She had been the last one left, the only one who could save the world. The government had been hunting her for decades, but she had survived. She had been the bridge between humans and machines, but she had never seen a machine. The journal said the child would be the bridge, but she had been the bridge all along. She held the key in her hand, the key to the future. Ilara looked at the key in her hand and realized the future was in her blood. The bridge was waiting for her, but the world was already gone. She had been the last one left, the only one who could save the world. She had been the guardian of the bridge, but she had never known it. The journal had written that the child would communicate with machines, but she had been the machine all along. She held the key in her hand, the key to a new world. Ilara closed her eyes and whispered, "I am the key." The key was in her blood, the bridge to save the world. The government had been hunting her for decades, but she had survived. She had been the last one left, the only one who could save the world. She held the key in her hand, the key to a new beginning.